Logging into my Motion dashboard and seeing one of our ads as the top spender of the week is possibly one of the best feelings. And after making over 10,000 ads that have had over $430 million in ad spend against them, I know exactly why some brands aren't making winning ads. I've seen every creative mistake. I've seen every single ad account pattern. And I've watched so many brands burn budget with ads that simply should never have even been made. And in today's video, I'm going to break that down exactly, so you can stop wasting budget on the wrong creative and start building ads that actually scale. Okay, so let's start with a funny one. Most brands are stuck in the exact same loop. They launch ads, nothing wins. They launch more ads, still nothing. They assume that the problem is budget or targeting or the algorithm. And shocker, it's not. So before we talk about how to get more winners, we need to delve into the winners you currently have. Because most brands probably have a winner sitting in their ad account right now, but they have absolutely no idea why there's a winner. They see that the CPA is good and that the ROAS is high, so they do what feels logical. They just copy the ad. Same script, same format, same creator. And shocker, that don't work. Because copying an ad without knowing why it won is possibly the most expensive mistake that a brand can make. You're essentially just playing a guessing game at this point. When I look at a winning ad in an ad account, I'm not just watching the ad. I'm looking at the important metrics, the hook rate, the hold rate, the CTR. I'm looking at the ad comments to see what people are actually saying on the video. Because every single one of those metrics that I just mentioned tells a story. And if you can find the story, then you can replicate that. Otherwise, you are simply throwing money at the wall. Let's have a look at this example from the black stuff.
They look nice, but too expensive. Well, let me tell you something. Sorry to disappoint you, but there's a reason why people pay more for this soap.
So this is an ad that we made that was fairly different to anything that they'd done before. Although we tried like UGC videos before, we knew that hooking people in with something strange often worked, especially if it was still related to soap. In fact, in one video we showed like a Sasquatch, an AI Sasquatch, like washing himself with the soap. And so with this one, we didn't want to go too crazy, but instead we showed a man in a towel talking about the soap. And we also knew from past winners, from looking at what engaged customers, that talking about the price as an objection was a fantastic way to hook people in. Because usually towards the middle of the funnel, customers are already pretty much sold, but there's something which is niggling them enough to not make a purchase. For the black stuff, that's usually the price. And so this is one of many videos that we've made discussing that. And so we launched this ad and the hook rate told us, well, exactly what we wanted. This had over a 50% hook rate. However, the click-through rate and the click to purchase wasn't so good. And so we know now that when we make ads, we might need to do this exact thing, but with a stronger CTA. Something that really pulls people in to go ahead and click and purchase. Because even though this was really good at education, it clearly wasn't as good as it could have been at selling. And this is why when you have the data, you're at a real advantage to others that don't. I know some agencies that still just blindly make video ads without ever looking at the data, and they are not the agencies you want to be working with. I actually made a video about how you can analyze your meta metrics the right way. You can watch that up here. At the end of the day, any brand, any creator can make one banging ad. And in fact, that's why you see so many gurus on YouTube and on Twitter talking about this amazing ad that just crushed it. They make one video, they go viral, and then they disappear because they don't know how to replicate the success without copying the ad. One thing that I hear all the time is we just need more creative volume. Look, I run a creative agency. If creative volume was the answer, then I would be selling my clients larger creative packages because I'd make 10 times more money. Am I doing that? No. The reason for that is because volume ain't the answer. Because the brands that are stuck with low win rates of ads are usually the ones that are just throwing spaghetti at the wall with no strategy behind it at all. They're launching 40, 50, 100 ads every single month with no idea if something's going to stick. Not only are you wasting a huge amount of production budget, you're wasting a huge amount of time, but you're also wasting ad spend as well. The brands that produce the best results are the ones that they make fewer ads. Every single one is clear, precise, and planned. They have a reason for existing. They aren't just another number on a spreadsheet. They know exactly the persona they're talking to, they know the message that they're trying to tell them, and they know the format they're trying to convey it in. Because better pretty much always beats more. We've worked with some pretty massive brands. There's one of them that legally I can't actually mention, I'm sorry for this, but they launch a lot of ads. We're talking like probably over 500 every month. But inside their ad account, the account is basically being carried by about 10 ads. So what does that tell you? Well, it tells you that volume ain't the answer because they're they're launching all these, but the ad account is still propped up by 10 winners. So what's the best way around it? Well, it's to take time to make better ads, to find out exactly why those 10 winners are winners and then work backwards. But even if you're making the right ads, if you're not giving the right ads the right amount of time, then you're going down another rabbit hole. Because I cannot stress this enough. One bad week does not mean a bad ad. One dip in performance does not mean that you just pull the ad. And yet I watch brands do it every single day. And it is such an expensive, stupid mistake to make. Because if you kill an ad too early, you're not only losing that ad, you're also losing all the valuable data that it could have given you over time. We spoke at the start of the video, right, about this invaluable data that you can get from winners. Well, you can also get that same data from losers. You can find exactly why that hook didn't work. And you can probably link that to why the ad didn't perform. You can see why people clicked away. Have a look at the retention graph and see, oh, okay, we showed this shot at this time, maybe we shouldn't use that again. This is where patterns emerge and it compounds over time. But the most important thing here, you never know when a bad ad is going to suddenly turn into a good ad. So instead of panicking, you need to make actual rational decisions of why you are killing this ad. Don't get me wrong, if it has underperformed for months, turn it off. It's a waste of money. But actually give it a bit of breathing room. A great example actually is this ad from Aloha.
I've been on a mission to find a snack bar with high protein, low sugar, no stevia or any other artificial ingredients, and I have finally found it.
We made this in probably like month 2, way back when we started working with them, and at first it wasn't a very good ad. The hook rate wasn't very high, it didn't have the metrics that we'd expect from a winner. But we knew that the creative delivery was fantastic, we knew the messaging was good, and so did the brand, so they left it on. Now this is an evergreen winner for them. It comes up to the top of account every now and again, and it spends a load of money and it makes them a load of money as well. And that's just the nature of ad creative. That's why you see so many brands when you look through their ad library with ads that have been on for like 2 years, because they're not just randomly turning off ads, they're just keeping them on, and if Meta likes them, then it will give it more spend. Having patience and not overthinking your ad account and what ads are on and what ads are taking budget is the number one way to run a D2C brand nowadays. And also, while we're here, another point, if you go into most ad accounts now, you will see the same formats over and over again, like it's been printed out of a factory. 10 variations of the same UGC ads, same format, same structure, even same type of creator, over and over and over again. And then the brand comes to me and says, our creative just isn't performing anymore. I don't know what it is. Yeah, shocker that your creative isn't performing anymore, because the audience have seen the same thing a million times. Even though it's a different ad, it may as well be the same ad. But most importantly, there's nothing new to learn. There's nothing new to test. There's nothing there for the algorithm to get and push to the top. Because the brands that consistently produce winners, they produce diversity. They have UGC ads, they have founder ads, they have podcast ads, static, mashup, AI ads. The list is endless. Different personas, different angles, different hooks, different formats. All of them running at the same time in perfect harmony. Because diversity is what keeps ad accounts alive, and that is why so many come to us here at Fraggle, because we can give brands creative diversity. Because we have a massive studio where we can film stuff without having to outsource it. We're fantastic at interviewing and writing scripts for founders, and we're pretty good at sourcing creators. We can do the whole spectrum of ad creative. Because if you're just creating one format of ad, you're not actually testing creative. You're just making more of the same thing. Let's go for another example, shall we? This one is one that we made for Nathan & Sons. It is completely different to everything else in their ad account. Their ad account is primarily POV, founder style stuff of them making the gum. It's the kind of stuff that absolutely rips for them on TikTok Shop. Well, it also rips for them on Meta. However, they, as well as every single other brand that we work with, want to diversify their ad account.
Real talk. Most gum isn't actually gum anymore. Here's how to tell the difference. Tell 1. The base. Gum base. That's code for petroleum-derived synthetic rubber. You're literally chewing plastic. And when you look at real gum, it's made of spruce resin, natural tree sap humans have chewed for 5,000 years.
So we make like a high-cut VSL that really educates people on the product. We talk about what is really in the gum that you have every single day. We visually show it. You're literally chewing plastic and we're, tearing up a plastic bottle. We have someone holding it with gloves on, so it feels feels medical. It feels like we're investigating something. Nothing like this was in their ad account until they started working with us. And that's what I mean by diversifying, even though potentially this might not be a winning ad for them. That doesn't matter because we've learned something from it. And finally, there's one thing that ties everything together. The brands that consistently win, they aren't smarter than you. They don't necessarily even have bigger budgets, but they have a system, a repeatable process of launching angles, testing them, having a look at the data, and then starting all over again. Writing hooks, briefing creators, launching tests, reconciling data, it all becomes a flywheel because the brands that are producing losers over and over again, they are stuck in a spiral. They are launching ads whenever they feel like it. They test whenever they have time. They review data when performance goes to the dogs. A system means that every single week you know what's going in and you know what is coming out. It's reliable, but if you're just reacting, then you're always behind. Because the difference between a brand with a 5% win rate and one with a 30, it's never talent, it's almost always processes. And there it is, the real reasons why you are not making winner after winner after winner. Because in recap, you don't know why your last ad won. You're making more instead of better. You're killing ads before they've even had a chance to become a winner. You have no diversity in your ad account. And finally, your gut is running the show instead of systems. And if you fix those 5 things, then you are well on your way to turning a 5% hit rate into a 30. And if you've enjoyed this video, then do make sure that you hit subscribe. And if you happen to run a brand that's spending over 70,000 or more on creatives, then scan the QR code on the screen or click the link down below to apply to work with me. But until next time, like the video, leave a comment, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.